Hello everybody, my name is Benji and welcome back to Mindustry. We are in episode 4 and we are continuing our conquest of the planet today with Extraction Outpost. We're launching from 133, which is where we were last time. That was interesting that it had the animation showing this core drop, but this isn't the core that was dropping. Launch pads! So this might be where we get the launch pads I was talking about in one of the other episodes. Capture Extraction Outpost. So this is going to make everything that we did last episode worth it. Specifically because of the fact that we're going to be able to launch resources between zones. So not only are we going to be able to set up major production hubs, we're going to be able to send that production that we're making to different areas and give ourselves a head start in the areas. Starting off immediately with being able to get power because we'll actually have the resources to go on ahead and build all this crazy stuff. Right now we have literally nothing. So I'm going to go on ahead and grab the lead and copper. You saw how that went. And then be back with you momentarily. I went on ahead and took the liberty of setting up graphite and a little bit of starter power as well. It actually looks like our lead production is a bit too much for lead, so we're going to go on ahead and fix that. And if you're wondering why on earth I have titanium in my inventory, simple answer. Because there were containers hidden around the map, and I just kind of grabbed a couple, and they gave me titanium as a result. So, I think this is going to be our central power node, at least where we're going to be getting the coal for our central power, and then we'll do power, like, around this area somewhere, because there's water here. In the meantime, though, I'm going to need to set up a defensive wall in order to, you know, keep us safe. And I'm going to need to set up, sorry, my throat is bad today, 2 walls, but I need to make sure that this one up here is out of range of the ripple. So first off, the one that's going to be protecting the power needs to be decently strong, but also not super expensive at the moment, because then I won't be able to afford it. And then we're just going to come down here, grab the copper that we have at our disposal, just like so. Yeah, just like that, that'll be fine. And then you can even put an extra one, so that's good. And we will run that up into an array of duos that we put up here. Same exact thing that we did in one of the last episodes with just the duos and everything else. Ready completely and entirely to go. Just like that. And then we run the copper belt right the way up. Right the way up. A little too far over, but right the way up. And then do another router right there. Just like that. And now, I'm gonna sit here, gather like 1,000 copper, go build that, and be back with you in a moment. Got the wall all situated and ready to go, and then over here, just to make sure nothing comes this way and tries to take out our coal gens, or our coal supply rather, I went on ahead and added a little sandwich in order to make that not happen. I also upgraded some of our power stuff, so it looks like we could probably add another power node to that, or just reroute that into here once we set up our actual power. And we are severely lacking in the copper department, so I'm actually going to go on ahead and just grab some more, because it's right here. Copper is the most abundant resource in this game, I want to say. Maybe sand, technically, but you don't really need sand for anything other than silica and some other stuff. But mostly just silica. So now we have another copper belt, as soon as I actually have enough copper to build the copper belt. This is kind of what I do whenever I'm not on camera, by the way, is I just kind of mine and sit here and do blueprints, and then mine and sit here And there we go. Now, we could also go on ahead and grab titanium, and I think I am going to do that just to get some titanium producing. We have plenty of graphite for the extractors. Then we gotta work on power, and then silica, and then kilns, and then probably offensive techniques after that. Well, obviously we'll have to upgrade our power in order to start work on offensive systems. But that's kind of like just a general knowledge thing. I feel like you guys have been in it enough now to know that extra power production equals weapon systems. Also, I could not care less about those, like, little divots right now. I'm just gonna go straight over top of them with the bridges. And hope to God I have enough copper for this, because I don't want to mine it right now. There we go. We are good. Oh, well. They took out my belt. Rude. We're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. How are we gonna make sure that doesn't happen again? Like that. Nice, quick, easy, simple, good to go. So let's figure out power. Power's gonna be here, but we're gonna be grabbing it from over here. I don't think it's worth it for me to do the Mark II miners when I could just do the Mark Is and upgrade straight to the drills once we have enough power. Which should not be long, come to think of it. And then we'll run 2 belts out this way into power, which we'll have here eventually, but right now we just need the power Mark Is. So the power Mark Is I'm just gonna do down here, like this, like I always do. And then we'll have 2 belts going in, 1 belt going like that, and then another like that. And now I'm gonna go mine copper and boop that in for you. The boop has been completed. Power is going to be online. As soon as I disconnect those to make them stop flowing. And we can go work on silica. Well, you know, we should... I'm really glad I stuck around to see that happen. That's fun. Okay. Scatter. Scatter. And ammo for the scatter. It's probably excessive. 6 will be fine, because eventually it'll overflow. Please tell me I have enough copper to do this many scatters. Luckily those guys do, like, literally no damage. And of course, I do not have copper for it, but that's okay, because we can actually do hand feeding. I don't know if I ever discussed that. But hand feeding is a thing that you can do. Just like that. So now we're defended against the air, now that we figured out that that was going to be an issue. And we can do what I was talking about, which was run a power line straight this way to run our systems. Specifically, silica is next up on the list, because silica is important. And we're going to be doing silica up here, because there's coal up here. So we'll just grab that, run the power line, just like always, and then grab ourselves a silica Mark I, smack it down here, ensure that I'll have enough room for a Mark II and some sand belts and stuff to be running all over the place. Maybe room for another one at some point, and then we'll also get a little ambitious here and go ahead and put down the kilns as well. And then I'll go take care of getting all of these resources situated. What a heck of a boop that was. Except for the fact that I completely forgot to actually power the kilns. What a heck of a boop that was. lot of trips back and forth, grabbing resources. But we finally have silica at the base, and some of you may have been wondering this whole time, Benji, why on earth did you leave the back open here? Well, friend, I left the back open for the unloaders, because we need the air factory to get ourselves drones. Mining drones, builder drones, any sort of drone that we need right now. Like, right now. So that one's that one, that one, that one, that one. And we do this. We get this one ready to go to the next place. We get this one ready to go to the next place. And we select mono. And just like that, all of that lovely, lovely silica that we just got is already being used to produce the monos, which we should see starting any second now. Any second now. There it goes. There it goes. Lovely. And we are gaining silica, so that makes me happy. It looks like we're gaining silica because this system is working at full capacity. More than full capacity. I'm gonna go on ahead and upgrade this belt, actually, because I think that's gonna be pretty neato burrito, in my opinion. And just like that, we are ready to start upgrading power, and then we'll be ready to start delving into our offensive solution for things. Well, we need to do a lot of upgrades on power before we can start focusing on the offensive solution. But for right now, what I'm gonna do is get rid of this guy. He's out of here. We don't need him anymore. He is useless to us. We're gonna pump this into the graphite and get more graphite producing. Because as you can see, our coal is backing up, and that's inefficient, bad, not allowed. We need efficiency in this playthrough. We need efficiency in this game to better conquer all of the planets that we would like to conquer. Oh, they're breaking through my system. Whoa, friends. I think you need to slow down. More honestly, I think I need some more defense up here. There we go. I think that'll last us a little while longer. So anyway, I'm gonna go on ahead and start messing around with some power, and I actually think I might do something different. The differential generator is something that we could start to delve into, and we have everything in this area. I am paused, right? Yeah, we have everything in this area in order to make pyrite and cryo fluid. I don't know if I want to do that, though. You know what? Let's look at the difference. A single differential generator, 18... Wow! That's like 3 times the power. Like, that's bonkers, man. We're gonna do that. Alright, we are going to do that. So, the way that you set up differential generators, because I haven't showed y'all this yet, is I'm gonna do probably just 4, and then we'll expand later if we feel like we can. So you take the differential generators, you put them in an array like this, and then you put the router or distributor in the middle so it connects to all 4. Just like we have with the Power Mark II. Where's Power Mark II? Just like this, except with the differential generators. Then you take the liquid tanks, and you put a liquid tank on the back of each one. That's going to have the cryo fluid in it. Then we take this right here to actually make the cryo fluid, and we put it, I don't know, here? Yeah, we'll put it here. And that should be enough cryo fluid, he said, hopefully. Then we take this, pump it into the tanks, pump it around and into the next tanks, making sure that there's no backflow because the tanks don't have any sort of direction. Then we're going to need titanium, which I don't think it's efficient for me to do that. I think it would be more efficient if I just took water from down here and piped it up. Obviously, that's going to be a little more meta-glass usage, but I don't really care about that right now. Grab the titanium, toss it into the cryofluid system. The cryofluid's going to be connected to the power, and we're good to go in the cryofluid coolant department. So I'm going to go on ahead and build this, then we'll build the power source, the actual fuel. We have run out of metaglass, but that's okay. We'll make more while we're making the pyrite. So this is the schematic I have for pyrite. Pyrite is interesting in terms of its production, simply because of the fact that it has 3 inputs and an output, and it's only 2 blocks wide. So we have 2 inputs at the top, 1 input at the bottom, and another line for the output. So we're going to be grabbing ourselves coal from up here, of course, and we're going to be smacking that straight in, actually into the bottom here. Then, another thing that the pyrite mixer needs, let me just remind myself, is lead and sand. So the lead, we're going to be grabbing from down here, like this. And then same thing, not worth the power output, but we're also out of metaglass, so we'll get to the rest of this stuff later. But we connect all of that together, grab a titanium belt, run it up here, just like this, and in. And then we grab sand, because sand is necessary for this. And we grab the sand, and do the exact same way, just like that. Now we have pyrite producing. And with the pyrite producing, we'll run it up. We'll not run it up. We'll actually just run it across. And then up. And then we'll connect that whenever we actually have the cryofluid in the tanks ready to go. Which I still actually need to connect the water. Whoopsie daisy. So need to connect power to everything down here, so let me do that really fast. Just like this. Like that. And then the cryofluid. Each of these needs 6 per second, if I remember correctly. 12 per second. I'm glad I took a look at that. So that's 8 water extractors total for that whole cryofluid system. 8 of these small water extractors total, I should say. And then we're going to do a junction just so that those don't get mixed. And then we're going to run this over. It's a little jank in terms of the actual belting and everything, but it's fine. And now we're good. We just need to let all of this actually build. I've been letting power store up this entire time. I'm going to disconnect power from the main grid. It's actually probably not smart because I still need a ton of metaglass. So we'll keep it around for a bit. Now we can just go through and build everything that we need to build while we wait for the metaglass. And at this point we're waiting for the metaglass, so I'm not going to make you guys watch this. With the power disconnected, we're losing power fast, and we're not making any more. However, this is ready to turn on. Like, the cryofluid is storing, and it's ready. These require metaglass. I actually kind of wish I had checked that. Anyway, we can go on ahead, turn these bad boys on, and connect them into the grid. Luckily for us, and by luckily for us, I do in fact mean luckily for us, if these run out of coolant for any reason, they will not explode. Thorium reactors explode if they don't get coolant but continue receiving fuel. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that because we're not using those. We're using cryofluid with the differential generators. And at this point, we can go on ahead, grab this, save the schematic, power MK3. Gives us a net total of 4,000, except for the fact that we're using power for other things as well. I want to make sure that actually backs up. It looks like it is. And in the event that it stops backing up, we can just add some more pyrotite stuff to this. Ooh, that's bad. I don't like coming up here and seeing that that happened. I might need to focus on that. But for right now, I have been recording this on my lunch break, and I actually need to go back to work. So future Benji's going to edit this. We are back in Mindustry after a little break. I kind of forget what I was going to do next in the episode. I know I said maybe upgrade defense, but I don't think that's necessary, so I think we go for the offensive. But in order to go for the offensive, we need better graphite production at home. And in addition to needing better offensive back home, or better graphite production at home, we need drones. Like, right this instant, we need drones to happen. And obviously, when I say right this instant, I mean the sooner the better, of course. But we need drones. We definitely need drones. There's no getting around it. We need drones, like, ASAP. And we'll get drones. We'll get drones. It's just gonna take a minute. But more importantly right now, we need to get this graphite set up. So we're gonna do the exact same thing that I always do here with the graphite, and more specifically with the Graphite Mark II. And be back momentarily. And our new graphite production is online and very janky, giving us a little over a full belt of titanium. Speaking of titanium, we were running out very quickly, so I went on ahead and upgraded that as well. Now, time to rip this entire system out. And by the entire system, I quite literally mean the entire system is going to be gone. We are reworking the entirety of our silica production, and we're going to see how much coal we have exactly. I'm assuming it's going to be like 2 belts. Well, I don't know really anymore. It's going to be a pain to get water to all of these. Well, actually, maybe not, because I kind of have to do this with these guys. I don't really have a choice. So let's belt all of these together at this point. Just grab this guy, bring it in, grab this guy, bring it in. That's janky, so we're gonna do it a little differently. There we go. Grab this guy, bring him in, and grab the one that's just a solo belt. Bring him in. So we've got 4 belts that are definitely not going to be max, but I'm assuming that's going to be 2 full belts of coal, which should .tm be able to run 2 silica production. Emphasis there on the word should. But it should be able to run 2 silica production, and then we'll have a load balancer as well. So with this, we'll have 1 belt going in there, One belt going in there. One belt going the whole way around the back, because we like to do that. And another belt going the whole way around to the back, and then up and in. And then we'll have some sand over here. Good, those don't affect production at all. So we'll have 2 of the sand belts right here for this. If I can actually make it work, question mark. There we go. And then we'll have the other 2 sand belts down here, and I'll probably just end up copying this and putting it down here so that I don't have to actually belt it all together. And you're gonna get a large boop out of this one. Boop completed. And one heck of a boop that was. But things should, TM, actually start to work now. We are right on the brink of our power line, however. Is this even enough coal for this? Like, did I severely underestimate the amount of coal that we were bringing in? I may have. Anyway, it's more than a full titanium belt, and that's really all I care about. So we're gonna grab this line here, bring it the whole way back to the factory, because we need it. Just like that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of jankiness here. Don't be alarmed. It's fine. But we are gonna do a little bit of jankiness. And we're actually going to do unloaders. Actually, is unloaders necessary? I don't think it is. I think we can just do overflows. Yeah, we'll just do an overflow on this line, and we'll do an overflow on this line. And these 2 will go to our unit production for the purpose of conquering the planet. So we're going to use the runoff coal from this thing, but first we're actually going to make some more of these bad boys, and we're going to do that by getting rid of those temporarily. Don't worry, it's okay. It's okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. It's okay. Oh man, I forgot how beefy these things were. Holy cow. But we're going to use runoff coal from this system to actually start the crawler piece of everything. And then we're going to be fine after that. However, we're not fine up here, and I really need to fix that. But before we can fix that, we need to fix this, because we're running out of power. And running out of power is a very large no-no. There we go. Wunderbar. However, this is also a very big no-no. This is a huge issue that we need to fix. Well, that's fine. Alright, I'm just gonna boop in the whole enemy, or the whole, unit system, because you guys have seen me do it before. Now, that one, not so big of a boop. Not so big of a boop in the slightest. We got the sulfur and graphite, and I was wrong, by the way. It's an underflow, not an overflow gate. I said the wrong thing. We've got our production drones actually being built as well at the moment. I don't know where the one of them went, but we already have one apparently somewhere. I set up these guys, and they're obviously already doing something. I don't really know. Well, you know, I kinda forgot again. Hey, there he is. I kinda forgot to do this part again. I always forget to do this part. That's a problem. I'm glad I got that on camera, actually. I'm very glad I got that on camera, because that was comical. Very comedic timing. Alright, we're gonna set up some menders and stuff and get that all working properly, and we'll be good to go. Looks like we're already almost good to go in terms of units. These things build fast. When you have a full belt of everything coming in, these things build super quick. Let's just wait for these last two to get produced. Even though I really only needed the last one to be produced. And let's take a look at our offensive measures here. So there's a couple of hails here. Fuse, which the hails are going to get in the way of, I'm assuming. I can't see because it won't let me test the radius. But I'm assuming that it will, so we're... nah, screw it. We'll just go for it. They're hails, not ripples. They'll be fine. Also, we're going to help out our friends here so that they stop wasting their ammo on things that don't matter. Such as these walls. These walls do not matter in the fucking slightest. So I still feel like things are a little loud, so let me just go on ahead and turn that down in OBS. I don't know if this one has a bot. Also, yes, hails are already causing me issues. Don't care though, I'm taking out this fuse and then we'll advance. The hails kinda tickle a little bit. And by tickle I mean they actually do quite a decent amount of damage. Which is why we are currently pulling back, sending out some units, and replacing our squadron. Tier 2 units, better than Tier 1 units, confirm. At this point, we go straight for the hails. It looks like they're already running out of ammo as well. I did not see these guys. It's fine. I need reinforcements. Cool, I severed the water connection. That's really all you need to do for victory is sever the water connection, you're good. Because if you sever the water connection and then just kind of empty the water that's happening, boom, you're good to go. Except when these absolute morons get in range of the fuses, it doesn't really help you at all. Precisely why I usually do not have them attack, and I usually let them stay under my control. It's alright, we'll build up some units, get back out there, and start over. Unfortunately, they have menders here, which kind of outdo some of my damage. It's a real shame, honestly, about the menders outdoing some of my damage, but it doesn't outdo enough damage for me to not take this thing down. You can see it starting to crack a little bit, and it'll go out here in just there it goes. Now, though, I can actually take out that mender and go straight for the core. Cores are extremely flammable. That's why a lot of places have the water turrets protecting them. And there we go. Sector captured. Fire's breaking out all over the place. Everything in complete and utter chaos. Power production offline. Solar panels inactive. The zone is conquered. It is ours. At long last, we have the launch pad. So let me take the last little bit of time that I have in this episode to explain the launch pad. The launch pad uses 240 power per second, and it can launch batches of items to selected sectors. So ground 0, let's just say on a whim here, ground 0. It has nothing currently. We place this down, put an underflow gate, select the destination by opening the map, heading over to ground 0, selecting it, attaching the gate. It's connected to power. It has its destination. It's going to wait until it gets a certain amount of items, and after a certain amount of time, it's going to launch a rocket. Now, it's not instantaneous travel, but if we head over to ground 0, oh, it is instantaneous. Did they fix that? You can see that we now have 300 silica here. Despite the fact that there's no coal, there's no way for us to get any of that, but we now have silica. And if we hang out here long enough, eventually that will go up. That is the entire purpose why we built everything in 133. Everything here was for the purpose of being able to launch resources to other areas in the world. So what we're going to do now, right here, is teleport back to the core with a unit that can actually build. And build launch pads. Just an absolute shit ton of launch pads. Have drones, right? Yeah, there we go. So the time to build the launch pad is 10 seconds without drones. With drones, way better than that. Way better than that. Now we're going to put some unloaders down and get things ready to go here. So these first couple are going to be doing silica. These first two here. Underflow, underflow. Then we're going to have graphite on probably these top two. Right there and right there. And then we're going to have plastanium and search on the other one. Other ones, I should say. And then we should be able... well, you know, we'll just do this a little differently, shall we? Yeah, we'll do this a little differently. Where we put the launch pads over here instead. And then we'll just connect them into the grid like that. And then we'll have the surge going into one, the plastanium going into the other, just like this. And those will go somewhere. Right now it's going to overgrowth. But next episode, we are going to be diving in and taking over tar fields, which is going to be the first wave-based thing that we actually go through on episode-wise. Everything else up until this point has been on the offensive. This is going to be purely defense wave-based. And with a little bit of a head start, thanks to these launch platforms that we just made, we're going to have a fantastic time. But that is going to wrap up today's episode. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed Mindustry so far. It's been a lot of fun setting things up and showing you guys this game that I've enjoyed for around 230 hours by now. Don't think I've said that yet. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, do svidania, avidisian, ciao, and goodbye. Have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. Later.